Welcome to the channel, it's Bravo Config 99 and I'm going to be answering some questions today. I've fed all the questions and comments on my YouTube videos into ChatGPT and I've got it to make a series of questions that are going to reach out to the majority of you. So stay tuned and let's start. Yes, absolutely. I have felt so burnt out through this entire process of going from the IT support all the way through network engineer, and whilst I've been studying the certifications, I have questioned, is it all worth it? Is AI going to replace everything? Is what I'm learning so out of date because things in the real world are so much more advanced? And I always come back to, you've got to start somewhere. You've got to start somewhere, and learning the foundations of anything, I believe, is the key to mastering something. Oh, that's a tough one. That sounds like to me you've hit a real mental block. Well, you've got to ask yourself, what is the end goal? For me, my goal is to dominate network engineering. I want to be one of the go-to guys, the subject matter expert, and I have accepted that is going to take from me a toll of feeling mentally flat, mentally exhausted. But I've kind of got to like it. I've kind of got to a stage where when I feel like that, I know I've done a lot. And then I say to myself, well, I've come all this way, I've given all that work, I am going to progress. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that one. I think now's probably the best time. You always get sucked into the stories of layoffs. This is the worst time, AI is going to replace everything. I think getting into tech is the right time. We're always going to need people in tech, but we're always going to need people who specialize in certain things within tech. So yeah, I think now is still the right time. But I also think at the same time, there is no right time to do anything. Do you know what I mean? There's always something somewhere that's going to make you think, maybe I should wait a bit, maybe I should choose something else. Just go for it. I would say to that, forget about motivation. Motivation goes, when you're trying to study for something like CCNA or maybe something further along like CCNP, you ain't going to want to study when you're tired, when you had a long day at work, when things are bad at home. So it's not motivation that gets you through, it's the discipline. And that's what will set you apart from the other people. That's what works for me. In terms of IT being dead, look around you. IT is everywhere. It's definitely not dead. Oh, the hardest truth. I would probably say lots of different types of people. So tech people aren't always sort of people. So people skills aren't always the best in the tech world. So it can be a little bit hard working with people maybe. Some people are very tech focused, like just being married to their computer. So interacting and stuff can be a little bit hard. And I'd also say hardest thing is the realization that you will not know everything, even when you pass these certifications. So get comfortable with facing a problem that you have no idea how to fix. Oh, studying for the CCNA. So I kind of started in the month of, it was in 2024. I think I started in the month of October. A month later, I passed the Cisco CCST. And then I went on November, December, January, February, March. So November, December, January, February, March. So you're looking at 5-6 months it took for me to pass my CCNA, and how that looked like day to day. So I was in an insurance job from 9 till 5. Used to get back at 5 o'clock and do probably 2 hours every single night. On the weekend, I was doing 3-4 hours on the Saturday and on the Sunday as well. So I just wanted to be all over it, and I had a home lab that I was practicing on. So yeah, that's what I was doing. The resource that helped me the most was CBT Nuggets. It's an online learning platform, paid. So I pay every month. I think I pay about 90 Australian dollars per month for that. And that really helps me because you start, from the bottom and you work all the way through each of the chapters and lectures. They had interactive labs. Really, really good. Highly recommend it. What didn't work for me were the books. So things like the CCNA book, I just found them extremely hard to take anything from. Podcasts as well. So N is for networking was a great podcast to listen to on the train or walking the dog. If studying CCNA breaks your confidence, good, I suppose, because maybe you didn't know as much as what you thought you knew, but be reassured that you will be learning it by going through the CCNA syllabus. So don't skip ahead. Don't kid yourself if you're not sure about something. If you're not sure about a VLAN or something like that, go right back to the beginning and go through it. The amount of times that I have gone through lectures with my learning platform, CBT Nuggets, and thought, actually, I better go through that again. That will build your confidence up if it's taken a bit of a knock. Consistency is always going to be the brute force technique. What I would do is do the consistency, and then when you're getting up to the exam time, start to brute force it with the practice exams. That's what I do anyway. So study, learn all the material, and I still don't feel ready for the exam, but then I usually boast on practice exams and just start hammering the practice exams, which feels like a bit of a brute force technique, but hey, it kind of works for me. But consistency first. How do you balance it? Well, you've got to be smart. What I find is you've got to cancel something in your life. So you've got to sacrifice something, not your family or anything like that. Maybe you like watching a TV show. Maybe you like going to the gym 5 times a week. Maybe, I don't know, you like going to the pub, something like that, fishing. Unfortunately, you might have to sacrifice one of those to replace it with studying. And that is a sort of short-term pain for long-term gain. So I didn't watch movies, didn't bother with series or the latest box set. I was solely focused on my studying, and I tried to do it. I maximised it when my fiance was working, maybe doing night shifts, or when she wasn't back from work yet, just fitting it around everything that I could, but staying consistent. This is dangerous. You don't want to be doing this because chances are you're not learning anything anymore. I would say if you're stuck in an IT role, a basic one, and you want to level up, you need to start acting like the next level that you want to become. I always say this: if you want to become a network engineer, you need to start acting like a network engineer, even if you're in a basic role. Okay, so you can do that. Take it upon yourself to, 1, learn more, so maybe study a certification. 2, do more at work. If they don't let you, do it anyway for your own purpose. So create documents of the network that you're working on. How do the clients connect to the internet? What does it look like? Start documenting it, start looking at it like a network engineer. I used to take a look at the server cabinet in my insurance job and just start visualizing what was actually in there. That's before I was even in a tech job. NOC or network admin before you call yourself a network engineer. So I work in NOC, so I'm Network Operations Center, and I am the Network Operations Center engineer. Sorry, Network Operations Engineer, and there's network admin as well. So, I don't know. Like in my job, I work with Ansible, which is like a tool for automation, configure devices, and working with Linux. I'm doing things that maybe what a typical network engineer would do. Sometimes NOC is looked upon as just sat monitoring a network. It can be a lot more than that. Configuring devices, working with the big AWS telecoms companies and things like that, outages. Yeah. So I feel like with my role, I'm doing network engineer stuff and network operations engineer stuff. It's all role dependent, but hey, changing things, finding new ways to do stuff, that is a network engineer. Certifications matter these days. If you look at the job listings, all the recruitment people are asking for certifications. Experience on paper, I don't think is as powerful as what it was before. Doesn't mean that certifications are everything, but at least if you've got them, it shows that you've gone and learned something outside of work, off your own back, and demonstrated, you know what it is and how to apply it. So certifications for 2026 and the next coming years, I think, do matter, yes. I would say documentation for one. Yeah, produce good documentation. That's going to make you good, and that's a valuable skill to have. And also the ability to figure things out and gather as much information about an issue before asking for help or before going to somebody and showing them, look, I've tried X, Y, Z. It happened around this time. I'm thinking it might be this. Can you give me a bit of help? So forward thinking, documenting what you're doing, for me, would be a valuable skill for junior network engineer. Absolutely nothing. And that is a sign that I am doing things correctly for me. I wouldn't do anything differently. So yeah, I've given my network studying and my career the last 2 years 100% effort, and I've got out of it a lot in terms of pay, in terms of job, in terms of new things I've learned. So I would do nothing differently. I'm happy with what I've done. Oh, I hear a lot of people stressed out in IT and they don't get paid enough for it. I think it's brutal when I've heard a lot of people's stories, but is it worth it? It depends where you are. It might not be worth it. It might not be worth it. You might just be getting smashed with work. You're not getting paid that great salary and it's stressing you out. If that's the case, you have to leave. For me, it's worth it. My pay is worth it. I'm very happy. So it's a yes from me. So actually, when you're doing network engineering and when you're a network engineer at a company, the network isn't down a lot. It's not like there's a problem day after day after day and you're gonna have to fix it. You'll have relatively calm days depending on what job you're in, that is. But I found I have sometimes the network's behaving itself. So there's not like a mad rush or I need to fix something or no, what have I done? And that did surprise me because sometimes you get into the mentality of responding to network faults, responding. And if you're in an environment where the network's quite stable, things can be quite chilled sometimes. Plenty of project works and stuff going on. But yeah, I anticipated becoming a network engineer being hectic every day. And I'm sure it will be sometimes, but not every time. What does success look like for me? I'm not entirely sure yet. So I'm going to be going on to my CCNP. I'm just about to take the DevNet exam. I think success for me in the future might be starting my own company. I'd love to take this further with IT, the sort of content side of things. I think just becoming a really senior role with a really, really a big responsibility in terms of the role that I'd like to play for a company. Now I have a big responsibility now, but I don't know, I just think go more senior, go more specialised, is what the goal looks like for me. Oh, you know what? I have well, sometimes when I'm in a shop or something like that, I'm like, God, that'd be nice just to be in a just to work in like a shop or a coffee shop one day, and no stress and no one like, oh, do you not know this? Do you not know that? So, but you know what? I've worked on sites before, building sites and construction sites, and I can tell you when I'm going to work into my office or I'm working from home and I see those guys going onto the building site at 7 in the morning, it's either 40 degrees or raining. I'm glad I'm not doing that. That's no disrespect, it's just not for me. So I've made my bed, that's in IT, and I'm going to stay in it. The most ridiculous thing. You know what? Actually, I was just petrified a bit of not knowing stuff. I thought I'm going to be going into an industry where people just know so much, and I'm just like, hey, yeah, I don't really know how to do that. That actually just like freaked me out a little bit. I was just like, I just don't want to be like the new kid and stuff like that when I start getting into these IT jobs. And it's not been like that, and I'm now I don't give a shit if I don't know something. I say, yeah, I'm gonna have to read up on that, or yeah, I'm gonna have to have a little refresh on that. I've not touched it in a while, so yeah, I was just like, oh god. But you do work with some funny people, I have to admit, and I think you've got to be a little bit to work in IT sometimes, don't you? But hey, cheers.